I'll pump it from the salty sands if you really want me to. I'm a consumer of the world, babe, an economic whiz. Fossil fuel, dream team, premium gas biz. I'm a soldier of fortune. I get what I deserve. I'm just another conscript in the petroleum reserve. Heard of electric cars, run on electricity. How can this be a good thing? They don't burn my gasoline. Oh, there's nothing quite so beautiful as cruising Sunset Strip with a baby in your Beamer and a gas can on your hip. I'm a soldier of fortune. I get what I deserve. I'm just another man in the petroleum reserve.
I would now like to introduce to you the writer of the show and bring on the cast for this show that was put together by Roger Kuhns. This is a monologue called Talking Until I'm Red and Blue in the Face. Come on out, Roger.
This show is for Bill and Joanne Kuhns. My dad worked his whole life. My dad's name was Bill. Now, I guess they had enough bills in the family and not enough income, so they named me Roger, and I went to work. The bridge is a big one. Monster cables curve upward hundreds of feet towards the support towers. Science and technology. The two-level, five-lane roadway seems to leap from the rocky foothold from northern Oakland, briefly anchoring on Yerba Buena Island and continuing on into San Francisco. The Bay Bridge, it spans some 8 miles over San Francisco Bay. I need the bridge to get where I want to go. Was I going with the flow of my nature or acting up against my nature? What is my nature? Driving towards the bridge in my old Volvo, I feel out of place. I'm a natural scientist, a geologist. I work in nature, and I work to understand nature. I'm not good in cities, but I find myself in San Francisco, and here I am in the mass of mobility and humanity creeping along slower than a human's walk. 800,000 people live in the city, surrounded by 7 million in the orbit communities, and over 350,000 of us take the bridge every day. Not a few are already chatting on their cell phones. I find myself jotting down cell phone haikus as I creep along in the traffic. I see others singing along with the radio or staring ahead at the slow motion scene out of their slow-mo prison cell vehicles. Now and then, they check their look in the rear view, while others are eating breakfast McSomethings. One guy is reading, occasionally looking up to see if he should pull forward at all. And there's this whole temporary culture on wheels, a daily ritual of employment transience, employees. What have we become? A lot of my friends who are not scientists don't get what I do. Science, it's not so hard. The scientific method is how I work my way through life. It's probably why I don't, have a really great social life. Observe, hypothesize, predict, test, and then repeat. Kind of like a washing machine. Observe, hypothesize, predict, test, and repeat. Meanwhile, my vehicle spews a few pounds of carbon dioxide into the air every few minutes. I imagine these C18, 8-18 octanes burning with oxygen to make 8 molecules of carbon dioxide and 9 molecules of water. 1 6-pound gallon of gas is converted to 19 pounds of carbon dioxide. Thousands of others do the same. Does Mother Nature care? I notice that almost all of the cars have only one occupant. We have made choices. Science has helped to give us many choices. The din of idling engines almost sounds like the rolling ocean, and the sinuosity of engines meandering like a snake across the Bay Bridge looks like a desert. I think about the science of this traffic jam that I sit in my car. Sometimes science has made it more convenient to make choices that do not benefit the environment, yet everything connects to science. I realize it is somehow the way we think about a problem. Well, not everybody thinks about a problem. Do you think about a problem with the scientific method? It can be through science that we respectfully represent our differing viewpoints, because we can go back to the facts and touch base. I look out beyond the lines of cars at the expanse of beautiful bay all around me, the dappled coastal mountains, and I see beauty. Beauty. I wonder if Mother Nature nurtures us even on this toll bridge. Interstate 80 blossoms into 17 lanes as it approaches the toll booths. This is called the MacArthur Maze. Now, 2 of them are for carpooling lanes, buses and cars with more than one person in them. Some of the people have these blow-up dolls that sit in the passenger seat, so the cops have really gotten good at looking at people having conversations, especially one-sided conversations. And all the other lanes, though, are just single-passenger cars. There's nobody in the multi-passenger lane, and we're barely moving in the main lanes. This capital area assortment of lanes narrows into 10 after the toll booths, and then squeezes down into 5 more as the bridge's main artery. Morning traffic into the city gets the top tier of the bridge, while the outbound gets the bottom tier. Now, San Francisco, the city that waits to die, shaky town all around. I hope when the big one hits, it's in the morning, because I'm on top. There's a metaphor here, of course. For me, crossing this bridge, I realize with great clarity that it is to be the milestone of my life. My life is a cascade of decisions and emotions involving career changes and major shifts for me within the company, turbulence in my family, and hardships in my body. And I am still, well, then I was young. I had spent most of my career practicing my science on the North American continent, and I worked in geologic terrains from the Arctic to Mexico. I had a strong desire to step off these normal shores, these home shores, into parts unknown. So, at that point in time, there were 2 routes. There was this safe route to stay where I was living in Minneapolis and cross that bridge to a job every day with no travel. In fact, when they asked me, "Are you adverse to travel?" I said, "No, not really. How much is it?" And he said, "There might be 1 or 2 weekends a year." Well, that's not travel, that's getting away. Anyways, the other choice is across the Bay Bridge into San Francisco with the world's largest natural resources company. I had never taken the easy route before, and inside, I knew it was the right bridge, and it opened the doors to the world. This 8-mile crossing took 30 minutes, and the toll was decades of my life exploring the world. Science may predict, but time will tell.
Human resources. Coal burned in the furnace of the hungry heart. I, not waiting for fuel, charged ahead into the wilderness of strategic planning. Alas, planning, yes. Strategic, no. Like the campy phrase in a graduation card, "You're the best, you'll rise to the top." But who knew? Gravity reared an ugly head, falling. Resources. such as they are, human, now diminished by neglect, devalued by poorer laborer elsewhere, diminished by demotivation, by discipline of fear, threat, demeaning words. Will Mother Nature nurture us still? Depleted resources mean insufficiency, inconsistency, incoherency, and the diamond, coal, carbon, your footprint, oxidized to a gas once again, leaving the dead shell of your human being. Translated from the English by R. Kuhns, Nashville, Tennessee, circa 2006.
What are we arguing about? What are we arguing about? It seems like whenever you turn on the TV, there's argument, yada, 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 yada. You get to the point where you can't even hear it. What are we arguing about? I was in New York City, down at Zuccotti Park. The Wall Street protesters were in full force. Occupy Wall Street. What is this about? Anger, frustration, mixed messages, confusion, fear, greed, hunger. All the while the words were flying. And I got off the subway, I climbed the stairs, and was suddenly in this chanting mob of people. What are we arguing about? I look up, and in the stock trader's window is a sign that said, I am the 1%. In the crowd, a man shook a placard at the sign and said, we are the 190%. The man in the crowd shook this. The richest 1% possess as much as the bottom 90%, the sign says. I later checked the claim, a slight exaggeration, but not far off. Michael Norton from the Harvard Business School says 85% of America's overall wealth resides in the top 20% of the population. Mother Jones reports that 73% of American wealth is in the top 10%. The point is, it's a lot. Michael Norton says the most equitable ratio for America would be more like 30 to 35% of the wealth in the top 20%. Mother Jones reported that top 1% earns an average of $1.1 million per family per year, and the lower 90% make an average of $31,000 per family per year. So, Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Streeters are about the problem of economic inequality and the huge influence of corporations on policies and politics of the country. But how do we do something about this? Should we do anything about this? You know, I'm just a scientist. I mean, I know the Tea Partiers are really well organized, and I'm looking at this massive Wall Street protesters, and it's like herding cats. Another placard says 21% of American children live in poverty. And I checked that claim. It's right. The Foundation for Child Development says that's true in 2010.
Park today, people backed up against the wall. 99% of us are crying. Did you see the mountaintop removed? Did you see the school closing down? 99% of us are trying. 100 miles from downtown, 100 miles from downtown, we've been driven under
100 miles from downtown.
Can you hear the whistle blowing loud? Last train out of Industry Street. 99% of us are falling. See your job, it's moving overseas. See the thirsty fields of corn and wheat. 99% of us are crawling.
100 miles from downtown. 100 miles from downtown. We've been driven underground. 100 miles from downtown.
Where will you do? Where will you go? Well, the food's gone bad, no crops to sow. Haven't seen a gallon of gas in a year. Never thought these days would finally get here.
100 miles from downtown. 100 miles from downtown. We've been driven underground. 100 miles from downtown. 100 miles from downtown. 100 miles from downtown. We've been driven underground. 100 miles from downtown.
The world is changing. We are catastrophists. Don't give me that boring strategic planning stuff. We do not plan well as a species. Give me a disaster or a crisis, something flashy on the news. You know, all that film reel stuff where, ooh, all that stuff is happening and I gotta eat dinner while I'm watching the TV. But don't let it drag on too long. I'm gonna get disinterested in this. I mean, really. I only have so much tolerance for these things before I flip to America's Got Talent or The Simpsons. Do we watch reality shows so we don't have to live in our own reality? We haven't evolved a harder shell or a thicker skin or night vision. We must experience behavioral changes. My head is in the iCloud over this. I am gazing into the upcoming innovative renaissance, maybe an era of economic parity. But am I dreaming? I am such an optimist. That's because I have children. I want my children to dream. Imagine if we use science to design a building like nature has created a tree. Wow. What if we use science to design a city and its community like nature has formed a forest ecosystem? Am I dreaming? What are we arguing about? In fall and in the winter, I teach at New York City's College. I teach there subjects for graduate course studies in sustainability, architectural and landscape architectural planning, design, natural resources, ecology, water, soil, energy, sustainability. One of my students was grumping over not getting credit on the recent exam. Yo, professor, I got this one right. Let me see the question. It's this one right here. The question is, which of the two phrases most accurately describes what is happening in the world today? Global warming or climate change? It's climate change. Everybody knows that. It's a theory. It's not a fact, since a lot of scientists don't believe it anyways. The correct answer is global warming. What then is climate change? It's when the weather changes a lot, because of bigger things. Like what? Well, like volcanoes and solar flares and Earth's orbit away from the sun. Maybe some dust in the air. I don't know. Stuff like that, You know what I'm saying. I want these young people, when they walk out of my class, to have an appreciation for science and the scientific method. I don't feel like I'm getting through to this kid. You know what I'm saying? To understand what facts are, what theories are, and how much measured and demonstrable data you need to move a theory from the theory column over to the fact column. And I'm pondering my response in the microseconds that follow. I've spent 2 class periods, 3 hours each, talking about the scientific findings of global warming. It obviously did not sink in or was not believed. I'm tabulating these things, and I start the game show approach. For the toaster oven behind door number 3, tell me which of the following phrases is correct. 50 million years ago, in the Miocene geologic period, it was twice as warm as today. True. Geologists figured that out. During the past 2 million years, in the Pleistocene period, it was twice as cool as today. True. Geologists measured that. Over the past 600,000 years, the concentration of carbon dioxide rarely raised above 240 parts per million. True, measured by geologists. And over the past 100 years, the concentration of carbon dioxide is nearing doubling at 392 parts per million. True? Yeah, measured by the Mauna Loa Observatory. Global sea level has risen since the last glaciation, but in the last 80 years, it's gone way up, and the temperature of the planet has measurably increased in the last 100 years, 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, for a planet, that's really fast. The snow cover in the northern hemisphere has decreased by 35% in the past 7 years, and we have fewer frost days in the north. There's a measured increase in the northern migration of invasive species. So, that correlates very well with the reduced frost dates. The oceans have increased 20% in their acidity. 70% of the coral reefs are affected. Now, I'm looking at the student. I could go on, but there's plenty of supportive scientific data. Yo, professor, I don't believe this science. I think it's all ass backwards.
How come everything you do, like swallowing your food before you even chew, is ass backwards? How come everything you say, like good night in the middle of the day, is ass backwards? How come you only go to work on the weekend? How come you start on everything from the back end? Well, I tried to get inside your head, but I couldn't understand anything you said. You said a punchline before you tell a joke. Now, everything you do is
ass backwards.
How come everywhere you go, you walk into the room before you open up the door, ass backwards? How come everything you got is inside out with the bottom on the top, ass backwards? How come you only go to church every Wednesday? How come you're driving in reverse on the expressway? Oh, I tried to get inside your head, but I couldn't understand anything you said. You say the punchline before you tell the joke. Now everything you do is ass, everything you do is ass backwards.
Okay, we're all depressed now, but don't give up. We have science to the rescue. But wait, science doesn't make sense to a lot of people. You know, stuff you can't see, like germs, subatomic particles, the speed of light, and the speed of darkness. Anyways, yo, Professor, do scientists know what they're talking about?
Proceedings from the National Academy of Science 2010 study showed that 98% of the 1,372 climate researchers who published in peer-reviewed journals support the findings of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, that global warming is due to the anthropogenic impacts, that's us, that means yes to global warming.
Oh, but wait, we have some observations, I would say. Wisconsin, well, let's think about this. Kind of a nice, cool, breezy day, right, today? No one's sweating it. Don't sweat it. Wisconsin, am I saying that right now? I was born way down south in Mattson, so Wisconsin. You know, Wisconsin, according to the global warming models, triggers climate change, could have conditions right here in Wisconsin like northern Missouri and Oklahoma by the end of this century. New York could feel more like the Carolinas. Now, the scientific method. Remember, we're going to wonder if science can save you. Anybody think that science can save you? Ooh, boy. Oh, you're just scratching your head, yeah. You're adjusting your glasses, you know, you're putting your fingers in your ears. The scientific method, observe, hypothesis, predict, test, and repeat. We talk to each other, we compare notes, we test data to determine what is factual. That's a fact. That's science. Observe, hypothesize, predict, test, and then repeat that. Science shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be ecumenical or emotional or mystical or corruptible. Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test, and then repeat. Scientists take the hypothetical, just the hypothetical. Now just try saying hypothetical, let that roll off of your tongue. Hypothetical. And the very critical becomes, because we're analytical, we're hypothetical and we're analytical, then we get documentical, and then we think about the fractal. Maybe it's just me, but I think science is kind of sexy. Robin, what do you think science is to you?
You know what science is.
What is science, Robin?
You know what science
No,
is.
I don't know what science is. What's science, Robin?
You know what science
What?
is.
You tell me. I can't wait.
Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test. Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test. Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test. Yes, science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Yeah, science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test. A scientist creed, his sacred text. If you say it real slow, you know it sounds like sex. Observe, hypothesize, predict, and test. Ooh, yes, yeah, science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
You know that science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Well, science is sexy, well, it is to me. I enjoy the study of anatomy, but magnetics is my speciality. You know that science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
You know that science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Well, I am not attractive, but I ain't no fool. I attract girls with a magnetic tool. You know, I learned about it 'cause I paid attention in school. I got a chick magnet. I got science on my side. I got a chick magnet. It's a horseshoe shaped and it's 2 feet wide. I got a chick magnet. Well, the girls draw close when I carry it around. I got a chick magnet. It's polarized and weighs 16 pounds. Science is sexy, just ask any girl. Scientists are smart and thoughtful and thorough. Well, they don't do stupid things like divide by zero. No, science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
You know that science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Well, I carry it around over my shoulder. You boys will understand when you get older. Don't ask me again, son. I told you it's a chick magnet. I got science on my side. I got a chick magnet. It's a horseshoe shaped and it's 2 feet wide. I got a chick magnet. Well, the girls draw close when I carry it around. I got a chick magnet. It's a horseshoe shaped that weighs 16 pounds. Sexy, just ask my friends who are in the scientific disciplines. Like a Roger Kuhns, or that voice, those hands. Yeah, Roger is sexy. You know that science is sexy.
Science is sexy.
Well, I am off to the magnetic North Pole because attraction is a function of the natural laws. Well, that's why everybody loves Santa Claus. He's got a chick magnet. He's got science on his side. He's got a chick magnet. It's a horseshoe shaped and is 2 feet wide. He's got a chick magnet. Well, the girls draw close when he carries it around. He's got a chick magnet. It's polarized and weighs 16 pounds.
I'm getting coffee. I'm getting coffee. Man, I need a hot cup of coffee today. I'm sure y'all feeling that same thing, you know, but boy, just freezing up here. But I'm confused. What is true? I'm at a popular coffee shop, and they're on every corner. I think you know the one I'm referring to, and I order a small coffee, and the barista yells out, "Tall!" Can I be small and play basketball as tall? If I go to the big and tall store, will I find small? So I change my order to medium coffee. And the barista yells out, "Grande!" What does that say about the Grand Canyon? Is the Grand Canyon really the medium canyon? Don't get me going about venti.
Venti, non-fat, no whip, sugar-free, decaf, extra hot caramel macchiato with room.
What do we really mean by the words we use? In the contract with America, the contemporary split in American electorate was achieved. All but 2 Republicans in the House signed less taxes, more business, smaller government, tort reform. You all know what that means? Nah, nobody does. Anyways, and they also said, we want to have welfare reform. Well, we're not so sure what that means either, really. And then they rejected carbon emissions across the board in terms of training or control. And they all agreed on repealing health care reform. Karl Rove from the American Crossroads says, as people do better, they start voting like Republicans. Unless they have too much education, then they vote Democratic, which proves there can be too much of a good thing. Robin, you and I are in trouble. Anyways, businesses do not self-regulate. We've tried that. We're just not very good at it. Business will not guarantee equal rights or human rights. Only a government can do that. That requires education. David Koch from FreedomWorks said, it's not enough that I should succeed, others must fail. But who fails? The teacher, the bus driver, the firefighter, small businesses. David Koch also said, target shooting is occurring now. Paintball is occurring now. And I wonder what's coming after that? What comes after target shooting? Mitch McConnell said at a speech he gave to the Heritage Foundation, our top political priority over the next 2 years should be to deny President Obama a second term. Is this the best use of our elected officials' time in America for its citizenry?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
In 2008, I was having dinner in Washington, D.C. with a Wisconsin congressman. I was an environmental and energy advisor at the time, and he was as frustrated as he could be. This guy was really funny, and he said, nobody knows anything up here. Nobody knows anything. These guys, they come into office and they really don't know anything. A lot of them obscure and confuse the issue, and certain strategists even have a curious way of phrasing things to imply anti-patriotic behavior in those who disagree with them. And I observe that they mislead and twist the use of science. Now that gets me going. I said, but we have freedom of speech. We can say whatever we want. What's the impact of all of this when we talk to each other this way? Does it matter if the data used in an argument is accurate, factual, slanted, or opinionated? The congressman said, they read from a playbook. They make words that convey fear where there is no fear, or uncertainty where there is none, anger instead of tolerance, absolutism instead of compromise. One person might say estate tax,
Death tax,
tax cuts,
tax relief,
prunes,
dried pitted plums,
spending is investment,
cuttings,
health care reform,
government takeover,
a ghastly problem,
challenging issues,
environmentalists,
conservationists,
global warming,
climate change,
disgusting wiener,
presidential candidate Giuliani,
illegal activity Clinton,
patriotic DW,
gambling,
gaming,
foul temper,
won't suffer fools,
sex scandal Clinton,
lapse in judgment Gingrich,
adultery Edwards,
patriotism Gingrich,
drilling for oil,
energy exploration,
crime-ridden area,
up and coming,
a dump,
fixer-upper,
surge,
realignment,
citizenry.
corporations.
Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. I hope this doesn't upset you. They're all actual quotes. Everything I'm telling you today in science is actually factual, checked by me and other friends who check facts on science. Everything I'm telling you is actual quotes and actual scientific data. Frank Luntz said on the Terry Gross's NPR radio Fresh Air, I want to bring clarity. He said, I ask what it looks like rather than What is the action or intent? Now think about the use of these words. I want to bring clarity. He helped draft the Republicans' Contract for America. He said that if something is repeated enough, then people begin to believe it. Then, that which is most often spoken becomes the conventional wisdom. He said the designation need not be true for conventional wisdom as talking points or call to the emotional or biased side of our human nature. There seems to be something kind of seductive in this logic, in the rewording, but the truth is blurred, the meaning is softened, the policy is driven forward on an agenda, and science is ignored or misrepresented or countered with fact-free decisions based on emotion-based practices. But think of how we see the world. Who is we? Well, we are all of us. We all have a view, a vision, an interpretation, an impression, an abstraction, and a reality. We are actually in our own ultimate reality show. Dateline, the Telcom Electromagnetic Highway, 6:45 a.m. Haiku number 1.
Conversation? Oops, let me just get this. I can't talk to you. Interrupt us.
It's commuter time. We must get to work. The corporate hounds are demanding immediate performance 24/7. That's freedom. That's liberty. I can hear my boss yelling like he's right in my ear. You start your work when you start your engines. Get on board that technology highway. Fast, 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 fast. Newer, 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 newest. 30 days shelf life, then replace it. I got an hour commute in my 2012 post-tsunami Prius, a hands-free G4 iPhone, never texting, just yapping, and an iPad on the seat with the Google Maps and checking the traffic ahead. A large mocha soy double cappuccino in the drink holder, caffeinated dancing feet tapping to the gas, and a bike rack on the back that I never get to use anymore. Go, go, go! Got to do it! No employee loyalty anymore. Really, companies just go offshore on the cheap. They'll use local human capital until we collapse. You know, we are 60% more expensive to feed and fuel and medicate than somebody in China. Haiku number 2!
No time to call you. No time to talk now. Only time to touch tone.
Wait! Wait! Wait, what's that deep-throated money drawer? A mid-40s dude is pulling up on the right. He's moving in a burgundy BMW Z28 and has a red droid, that one with a hands-free set, that Grecian formula look, jabbering about stocks. Microsoft is up 2 points. Ben & Jerry's is in meltdown. And that Facebook stock? Are you kidding me? What a joke. They don't make anything. What's that all about? My iPod on the seat pings. Oh my gosh, I better move some of these mutual funds. I can multitask while I'm driving in rush hour traffic. A businessman who knows, who thinks he knows. Maybe he doesn't know nature, but he thinks he knows nature. He thinks that nature runs like a business. We are all brokers of data and resource and energy and services. And we eat a mountain range for lunch and a forest for dinner. I'm hungry just thinking about it, really, here on this planet of passion and consumption and materialism. We got appetites. I got my boom big appetite, baby. And that guy in the BMW says it all. He's on cruise control. He didn't die in the tech crash, obviously. He didn't bleed out in the recession, obviously. And safe behind the wall, obviously, and probably secure in blue chips. Not me. Lost it all.
Obviously.
And yep, that's me tapping out on my credit in that Prius and tapping into the microwaves with my G4 iPhone. Eco chick magnet. I'm a sensitive guy. Car and a hot phone. No kidding. The thing heats up like
A microwave oven?
like a microwave oven. My ear is being cooked. I'm making money on concepts and ideas. I don't move real things. It's just stuff, you know. A businessman that doesn't understand people believes a government can be run like a business. Not so. Haiku number 3.
Radiated ears. Cells are heating up. Microwaving gray matter.
I got an app that talks my orders out for cataloging to my clients. Send them off automatically while I'm driving. 17 humdingers ship COD to LAX on DHL ASAP. Running out of time online. Timeline blues. Timeline blues. I got them. Do you got them?
I got him.
I got them. And a bright red Corvette Z51 piloted by a red-haired angel cuts me off. Oh, and she's got this Bluetooth glued to her ear, maybe surgically implanted, I'm not sure. She's yammering on not even checking her mirror. Oh, there she does it. She flicks the hair, makes the mirror. She glances at me. Hoo-ha, I think I'm in love. And now I can see her eyes in the rear view. They laugh. I'm way down there on the food chain. I mean, like plankton or something. A bug splatters a Jackson Pollock across my windscreen, and I'm reminded that, well, there are a lot of people above you. There's always somebody below you. Haiku number 4.
I miss you. A bounced off satellite voice. Press star or just hang up.
I shift out of 5th to 3rd and gun past the BMW. Yes, that's right. My Prius is a bullet zinging past the BMW because I'm that good. The Grecian formula guy doesn't even notice I'm thinking microwaves. My iPhone is so hot, I drop it on the passenger seat and it starts melting into the Naugahyde. I mean, I got all my seat orders filled and I can feel the electromagnetic spectrum all around me. The visible rainbow glimmer, the infrared, the microwaves, all of this Mother Nature derivative, parting it with my Prius like an icebreaker in the Arctic Ocean. We're all living and dying in one monster microwave oven. That's our ecosystem. Invisible spectrum energy. Oh, boy, I love it. The frozen egg mix, something that I took out of the freezer when I left, is sitting on the dash. The microwaves is cooked at piping hot by now, and I take one of those creamy molasses kind of, the gooey molten bites out of it. Oh, can you taste that? Can you taste it?
Oh, I can taste it.
Oh, she can taste it too. Oh, man, it's the best road food yet. Better than roadkill. Haiku number 5.
1 on 1 on 1 on 2 on 3. Chime, chime. Who's that? More important than you.
I flip on the radio.
You texted me. What's my ETA? When can you expect me? How far am I away? Well, I could be there in an hour. If I'm lucky with the lights and I drive fast, I could brush my teeth and take a shower. But this time I might just keep driving past. Well, destination, the street you live on. ETA, not today. Well, we should have a hard conversation where I might need some time away. You texted me.
Oh, boy, check it out. Miss Debutante is pulling up fast on the left. She's licking cherry lips and whispering into the crimson Sanyo SP 5000 cell, fully loaded with a color screen, cruise control on her Austin Martin DB9 Valente, oblivious to traffic. Haiku number 6.
Hello, can't answer right now. Leave a message. Mix, pour, and enjoy.
I honk my horn, but she's soundproofed in the Valente. No fair, my Prius battery is running out of juice. I've accelerated too fast, too often, and it's running on internal combustion jobby. The baby needs something, I don't know, new points, new plugs, maybe a bit of love or something. And my iPhone is talking to me. I mean, it's so hot I'm wearing a Michael Jackson glove. Got 6 orders done and been on the road only 27 minutes. My time is running out. Beep, 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 beep. Time to add time. Haiku number 7.
Text message. Ring, ding. Invented language. No dollar to talk to you.
Most of us are non-scientists using advanced science every day. It's part of our evolved being. I think we're all violating the principles of causality, and because there must be always something like preceding effect. There must be always cause preceding effect, cause before effect. But science and technology and consumerism are bending the EM highway until we affect the cause. I had a cause once.
What do you have now?
Oh, I got an iPhone. I got a G4. And this cell phone radiation is giving me DNA damage. It's scrambling my genetic code. Who knows what my kids are gonna look like, you know what I'm saying? I better text someone. I gotta text someone now.
Well, there is nothing really wrong that I can put my finger on. Well, I might just require some time alone. Well, destination, my new situation. ETA, I'm here right now. driving with my oldest station. We're playing Nat King Cole, turn way up loud. You texted me.
Nothing good lasts. Current, microwave transmissions, reflections, and refractions are all being unnaturally absorbed into my living cells. Should I worry about this, or should I just buy some more stocks? You know, that Facebook stuff isn't looking so bad after all. I'm thinking, you know, it doesn't have to actually make something. It could just make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Are you happy?
With Facebook?
Are you just happy now? I mean, if you're not, get some Facebook stocks. You'll
Facebook,
be happy.
yes.
That's what I'm saying, because this is our personal ecology. This is not sustainable, but do I really care? Do I really care? Nothing good lasts forever. A broccoli green Nissan Cube sneaks into the roof. I'm pretty sure it's not a Borg cube. The license plate says veggie. The brunette behind the wheel is Mother Nature herself, and she's on an audio box, the one with the biorhythm program and the ringtone composer. Cool, I can see carrot tops, spinach, celery stalks protruding from the recycled Whole Foods bags in the back of the van. Haiku number 7.
Talk out of both sides of your mouth. Call waiting, call waiting, call waiting.
Had a 98 Thunderbird, it was an okay car. Had a black BMW once, and I wore a white scarf. Had a Chevy pickup truck when I was young and dumb. But now I drive a hybrid car, and I don't use bubble gum, 'cause I'm a responsible consumer. I mind my P's and Q's. I'm a tofu vegetarian, organic through and through. I don't shop at those big box stores where the little kids make my shoes. There's hemp in this here t-shirt. I'm a sustainable kind of dude. Oh. I grow my own asparagus up on my own green roof. I make my cheese scientifically from the goat out on the roof. I don't like growth hormones, no antibiotics in my cows. Got my free-range scrambled eggs. Oh man, yeah, let me show you how I'm a responsible consumer. Got my P's and Q's. I'm a tofu vegetarian, organic through and through. I don't shop at those big box stores where little kids make my shoes. There's hemp in this here t-shirt. I'm a sustainable dude. Now I don't eat them kumquats, 'cause they come from far away. I'd rather eat them local cherries that they grew just here by the bay. But I dream about cheeseburgers, and I dream about pork chops. I dream about that big plasma TV screen and all the stuff that I ain't got, but I'm a responsible consumer. I mind my P's and Q's. I'm a tofu vegetarian. I'm organic through and through. I don't shop at that big box store where the little kids make my shoes. There's hemp in this here t-shirt. I'm a sustainable dude. All my used stuff, and I buy things secondhand. I gave up rare earth elements except for my new iPad. I track my carbon footprint, and I'm on Weight Watchers too. And when Mother Nature is done with me, she'll recycle me and you. I'm a responsible consumer. I mind my P's and Q's. I'm a tofu vegetarian. I'm organic through and through. I don't shop at the big box store where little kids make my shoes. There's hemp in this here t-shirt. I'm a sustainable dude. I don't mean to be rude. I stop and chew my own food. I'm a sustainable dude. There's almost 1 million brownfield sites in the United States today. Brownfield sounds bad. It can be. It's land that has been used before, like factory sites or old gas stations or abandoned buildings, something where there's been pollution and poison put into the soil, into the water, maybe even into you. So we clean these things up. We need government to help us with this kind of stuff. The Environmental Protection Agency helps us, but it costs some money. But when a brownfield site is cleaned up in the neighborhood, property values increase up to 15%. There's new tax revenue for the properties because of the greater value. Towns that have invested in the infrastructure or developers doing the same really gain from this. But if you start a new development from a greenfield property like a forest or a prairie, you will spend $50 to $60 per unit just for the basic infrastructure. In a brownfield site, the basic infrastructure only costs $5 to $10. Brownfield land is used, according to the EPA, for mostly industrial use. You know, passive, good, friendly industries, sometimes the hard industries, up to 43%. Then office space, then government recreation, government buildings, recreation, and parks. And then mixed use, like, you know, small businesses. And then residential, retail, and a small percentage for other stuff. Cleaning up a developing brownfield site creates a positive community environment, new jobs, and new business. One job is created for every $5,700 spent on a brownfield site. Whereas on a greenfield site, you'd have to spend $13,000 to get that one job. That's brownfield's leveraging. Dateline. The West Coast. We've been training for this, folks. My biking team is in a quandary. Gas prices have hit well over $4, and our budget is tight. It's as tight as a rounder wire-wrapped spoke fitted to an airborne Valkyrie titanium road bike, metal mined from the bowels of the earth. Not a pretty picture, but biking is very, environmental, they say. Got to go with a carbon fiber frame next time. Sustain. I'm hearing this term sustainability a lot these days. It's all about sustaining, but I'm not sure what it is. We are scientific bikers. We are natural bikers. I want to be that sustainable dude, you know? I want to conserve, but I don't want to be too conservative. I want to be eco-friendly, but not eco-rabid. I want to be global, but not globalizing. I want to be sustainable, not just a stain. You know what I'm saying? So I joined the Criterion bike race. I want to be high-tech. And I'm thinking, can science be better than Mother Nature? I'm looking at this bicycle, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, you think? And is this progress when you're looking at this bicycle? I mean, this is kind of astonishing stuff. Look at my bike. It weighs like a gram or an ounce or something, and I'm riding it. I'm riding a bike made out of Mother Nature's best, and it's better because it's scientific. What could be better than that?
Velcro is better than buttons. At midnight, I like to walk. With Velcro, I'm scared of nothing. Well, I put my shoes on in the dark. Well, Velcro is better, keeping shoes on tight. It holds your clothes together even when it's dark at night. Who knows what the future holds? The tools you used to yous are getting old. Astronauts don't have time to tie their shoes or button jackets, so why should you? They can't take chances on laces that come undone when they're out walking on the moon. Well, Velcro is better than buckles. Well, my bones when it's wet. Well, Velcro's so easy on my knuckles. Well, so's I can play my clarinet. Well, Velcro is better than what came before. It holds your clothes together even when you're tired and sore. Who knows what the future holds? The tools you used to use are getting old. Oh, modern technology has given us a perfect fastener that we can trust. Well, ladies and gentlemen, no need to use both hands. Life is much better than it was.
We are bipeds riding bicycles. There's some kind of harmony in there. I have no idea what kind it is, but it's got to be in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And now that's why I ride a bike. With bicycles, you see, I'm a biped on a bicycle, biding my time. We're just engines, tuned, efficient, thirsty. I'm exhaling carbon dioxide as I fuel the van to get to where I want to go, and then it mimics the animal within exhaling. We are like similar organisms exhausting carbon dioxide. We have modeled our machines after our bodies. I've been drinking power gel all day. The van's been sucking a creatively expensive OPEC blend pumped from the bowels of some desert that can only be crossed with camels and tanks. Vente! Strange world, racing toward the future. Bicycles, cycles, think of it, cycles, you know, financial cycles, market cycles, laundry cycles on your washing machine, recycles, environmental cycles, the carbon cycle, the life cycle. By 2050, we will have 9.2 billion people on the planet. Do we have that many cycles? Teams up, carbs for breakfast, stretch and go. I'm on the Trekmadrone 5.9. It's only 15.9 pounds. It's scientific!
It's scientific!
Robin is on the Rebo Elite. Mary Beth is over the moon on the FCR Exogrid bike. She calls it her magic carpet ride. She's almost a pound heavier than me. Well, her bike. Anyways, but her ride is so smooth. I mean, it's a bike. There's a bike for everyone. Maybe 2 or 3. Greg LeMond wouldn't be caught dead riding half of the things that we can afford, but we're not all LeMonds, are we, after all? John, really? Okay, so the team all, you know, we all get this hit of the car boom, the specially manufactured scientific goo. You squeeze. If you saw this on the street, you'd take a wide angle around it, but you pick it. If you're on a bicycle, you drink it. It's amazing. It perks me up. It's got tastes like fruit. Some kind of fruit. I don't know what kind of fruit. I can't identify the species of fruit.
Some kind of fruit.
It says fruit, and it's got 27 grams of carbohydrates. I can feel the caffeine running into my system, and I'm going. We're off, and we're all natural. 33 minutes into the Criterion, and I squeeze some more Hammer Jello. It's a kick in 20 minutes when I'm going to need it, and I'm screaming around the curve. We're all well placed to hit the grade. We don't have to brake like the suckers behind us. The Hammer Gel kicks in on time, and I know I'm getting 50 minutes of solid energy. I can see it, but I know our support car is way back there, sucking OPEC's finest, and I feel akin to that engine, a sympathy and empathy to that engine, always hungry to ride, always hungry to consume. That's me. Give me rapid energy, grade A athletic fuel premium blend gel. I know the car's burning those carbon chains in uncounted little explosions that drive the pistons in a fury. My gut takes in the long chain melanoxidrin and the Hammer Gel that suck the L-leucines, L-alanines, L-valine, L-isoleucines, all those cool amino acids my muscles are craving. The van is sucking Valvoline. Burn, baby, burn. Legs are my pistons. We are the same engine. 118 minutes into it, we've done 15% grades in a half a dozen times. We've lost Robin, burned out, just couldn't sustain the pace.
Oh no!
Oh, no! And it's fast. It's getting faster. We're averaging 34 miles per hour. My muscles are burning. I'm wondering about the anaerobic limits, numbness in the extremities. I pop some frosting thick, gulp, and go. Oh, man, this stuff is good. Can you imagine the chemist that made this stuff? Wow, he's probably in the lab like, wow, and I don't even know how to ride a bike. And it's an antioxidant full of vitamins A, C, and E that I need for the in-race recovery, because I'm going to die if I don't take this stuff. I pray it works. I am an engine. I'm like a machine. I move like a mathematical model. This is all just one huge scientific experiment. My body, I burn carbs and calories like a wild firing internal combustion engine. That's my nature. Mary Beth is in my wake. We're powering now. I can see the pain in her eyes. She's feeling it. I'm feeling it. I feel Mary Beth coming up to spell my lead. That's what a team does. It's all for the win. Anything we can do, like an amorphous herd of super-fueled organism, we flow and morph around the curve and explode into a straightaway just one click before the grade. I'm stealing my mind. Tough. Bite back the pain. Focus. Focus. I am an engine. I am nature. I am nature.
It's scientific!
I'm sucking caffeinated, antioxidant-rich goo, and the 3-minute rush. You guys on bikes know it. It's like, wow!
Born again!
Mary Beth downs a dose of power gel, sensing the hunger at almost 180 milligrams of electrolytes, 25 milligrams of caffeine, and all these carbs. Complex, simple. I'm not a chemist. I'm just riding a bike. We're powering now. You know, pain. We don't feel no pain. Did I mention we're scientific? My riding helmet has been designed by a bunch of, nerdy kind of engineers who looked at like a woodpecker's head and said, holy smokes, how come that thing isn't crazy? Let's make a helmet out of that. That's got to work. How cool is that? Last leg, the team's all fast. The Europeans are fast too. Unreal, that Aussie dude. I mean, he's moving up like some kind of street lightning. Where did these guys come from? My muscles are on fire. I'm numb, burning fury with only 1 square inch of rubber on this molten roadway. I can't see Mary Beth. I can't see Mary Beth. She's fallen back suddenly, and now she's in the pack. It's like free fall when you fall back. It happens. You can't climb back into the clouds. Your chute won't open. There's a soft blow of defeat. It's like hitting the ground. It's like an oil embargo. But I'm delirious, and I'm running on my pedals. I haven't sat down in 10 minutes. My bike wags as we pump alloy through searing atmosphere with cheetah reflexes and human evolution's best experimental bodies. We are flesh and blood machines on metal and carbon marvels, mined from the soul of Mother Earth. I'm burning as much energy as a coal-fired power plant. Go, 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 go! Did I mention we're scientific? I'm decked out in the spandex. Hey, look at me. You know what I'm saying? The spandex. It's kind of stretchy. It's flexible. Ooh, boy, colorful polyurethane fabric, form-fitting polymers. Scientific. And elastic and durable, functional, space age, Star Trek uniforms. Oh, Lieutenant Rue. It can expand like 600% and spring back to its original form-fitting shape. Every nook and cranny, every swell and bulge, clearly delineated for me to indulge. It spews away the sweat I make, so I am dry as a desert but cool as a lake. It's not rubber, it's something else. It's an invention. It's not off the shelf. It's not for people with sensitive skin. That's not the outfit you want to be in. It adjusts to my shape, and my shape changes when I sit on my bike. My form rearranges. It's spandex. It's scientific. It's scientific.
It's scientific!
My arms are up. I'm coasting. Mary Beth is coasting. We've done it. We've won. Go team. Go team. Oh, some of them fell back in the backpack, but it's a team effort. That's what it is. You can't understand this. You can't know what it feels like. My arms are up. Victory. I can feel the wind in my face. We are the machines. We have won. I will be a fossil someday. Maybe fossil fuel, but until now, I'm burning them in my cycles. It's scientific. So what's in a $1 worth of gas or $4 worth of gas? Well, about half of that, let's say $4. About half of that, about $2 of it, is the basic cost of crude oil. So somebody pumped something out of the ground and put it in a tanker and somebody bought it. That's about half of it. About 18% of it is federal taxes. Sometimes that goes up, sometimes that goes down. About 12% of it is refining costs, 10% state taxes, then a little bit, like 4%, for getting it around the country and all those pipes and trucks. Some other local taxes, maybe a couple percent, marketing, a couple percent, and then the gas station markup, just a couple percent. Somewhere in there is a 3 to 5% oil company profit based on what they think they should make every year. So what's our response? What's our response? Drill, baby, drill. Makes sense to me. But that's not scientific. Got one foot in the grave, one foot on the gas. Driving my big Hummer, babe, drinking well at last. Oh, I know I'm kinda basic, but baby needs a crude, like fish need their water and kids need their fast food. I'm a soldier of fortune, I get what I deserve. I'm just another conscript in the petroleum reserves. Now I pump it out of Texas, drain that salt dome too. I'll pump it from the Saudi sands if you really want me to. Oh, I'm a consumer of the world, babe, an economic whiz, a fossil fuel dream team, premium gas biz. I'm a soldier of fortune, I get what I deserve. I'm just another conscript in the petroleum reserve. Of electric cars run on gasoline. Oh, how can this be a good thing? They don't burn my gasoline. Oh, there's nothing quite so beautiful as cruising Sunset Strip with your baby in your Beamer and a gas can on your hip. Oh, I'm a soldier of fortune, I get what I deserve. I'm just another conscript in the petroleum reserve. MPG is criminal, 10 miles to the gallon. It's my right to drain my tank, so don't you start your yelling. Well, I picked up a gal in LA town, she cursed my SUV. I said it's best to hitchhike a ride, you get your gas for free. Oh, I'm a soldier of fortune, I get what I deserve. I'm just another conscript in the petroleum reserve. I'm a soldier of fortune for the Arctic Reserve. I got my pump check ready for the petroleum reserve.
SUV recipe. With the holiday season just around the corner, maybe you want to do some cooking. Here's a simple recipe for SUV snacks. Definitely road food. Take 2 cups standard pickup truck chassis, add 3 cups luxury car design. Grate about a half ton of metal, set aside in a bowl to harden. knead and roll metal bits into a Land Rover sort of shape. Stretch metal form over pickup truck chassis. Place in center of greased cookie sheet. If you don't have oil, you might consider an alternative. Now, using both hands, gently place a low fuel efficiency engine under the hood, or if you're in the holiday spirit, sprinkle an electric motor under that hood. Add 2 tablespoons cool stuff inside, like nice seats, CD player or DVD player, and whisk. Detail interior and exterior to suit. In a saucepan, stir the softened engine emission standards for 1 hour or the length of the next session of Congress. Cook in an oven at $38,000 for 2 weeks. Now, while that's cooking, you might want to launch an enormous advertising campaign showing how anybody with kids or a dog or a spouse or a friend or sports gear or groceries or handyman stuff or anything at all have just got to have this recipe. Makes about 2 dozen. Double recipe if sales are expected to increase. Increase. Increase.
I'm talking until I'm blue and red in the face. Elephants will throw a tantrum until they're red in the face. Donkeys will argue until they're blue in the face. The founding father, Ben Franklin, said, "To err is human, to repent divine, to persist devilish." Like bruises, we have red and blue beaten into our psyche. Red and blue, blue and red, conservatives, liberals, diatribes and misquoted trivials, them and us and them, religion and science, again and again, herding cattle and herding cats, swatting mosquitoes and gnats, war and peace and war machines, while some of us starve the poor. Red and blue, red and blue, red and blue. There is no green for going forward. There is no green for the environment, a healthier place. There's no green for the fair economies and financial securities. Is the grass really greener on the other side of the fence? I was born here. So were you. Maybe you came from someplace else to share this dream, the American dream. I'm not sure what that is sometimes, but I have an idea. But red and blue, red and blue, red and blue. Help me, Ellen Walker. Help me understand. I hope this is why John Boehner is crying.
Rush and die. You can't stop the river. Sure you can, damn it. Sure you can, damn it. You can levee and lock the canal and reservoir all you want, but come the flood, like an antelope, I am in the traffic herd, running with the herd, comfort and frustration in numbers, start and stop. Cops like lions prowl the edges, their keen radar sight, their computer link sense of smell, find you out. The chase, the capture. We, the rest of the antelope, watch as the sorry prey lies dead by the side of the road. The cop gorging on its prey, write him off. And there's no parking spaces left when I get to my destination. Translated from the English by R. Kuhns, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Circus 2007.
September 11th, 2006, I stood where 5 years earlier 2 aircraft crashed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Another struck the Pentagon, and still another, possibly headed for the White House, fell to earth in Pennsylvania when the passengers overwhelmed the hijackers. These events, all within a couple of hours of each other, killed 3,000 innocent people and sent America down a turbulent road. 5 years after that day, I had finally gotten to the city. 5 years earlier, we were all glued to the televisions. Or if you were in New York, you watched in horror as the great clouds of dust rose up from where the Twin Towers had been. I had to go to Ground Zero. So much emotion, so much political leveraging, and war, and foreign policy had transpired since September 11th, 2001. This has affected all of our daily lives. I needed to touch the source. Ground Zero is a hole in the ground. A great rectangular space, many stories deep, that was the foundation for 20% of New York City's office space. It used to hold a unique community of people that held a special vibrancy in the city. It was a mecca as a mecca. It was called that. It was a mecca for business. It was a gathering place for international spheres of people who came to New York. It was where men and women worked every day with pictures of their loved ones on their desks. The gaping maw where the buildings once resided is like a living wound in the city. The dust has been cleaned up, the debris gone. Now a new monument has even been constructed. But then, in that cavernous hole, tunnels opened into this empty space. There are concrete stairways that stop in the sky. There are broken pipes and service lines that once gave the Twin Towers water and electricity, but like cut arteries, the pulse was silent. I can barely fathom the nature of this. There are people everywhere. On this day, tens of thousands of people are drawn to Ground Zero. People are polite. Oh, excuse me, I say, as I accidentally bump into someone. Oh, that's all right. And he touches my arm. He has a button on his lapel with a picture of a woman and the words, "I miss you." There's a man leaning into the fence that surrounds Ground Zero. He is crying. He has put a rose through the chain links and is muttering something quietly to himself. As people pass, they touch his shoulders. There are many flowers placed along the fence or put in the chain links. Some photographs, some mementos. This was a community within a community. I am staring at this photo. A middle-aged woman is standing next to me, staring at it also. She says, "I was a guide on the observation deck. The building would sway in the wind. It would sway like it was alive." And I see the wall of pages of children's drawings, messages to my dad, Stephen Chutnick. "You're in my heart forever. Love always, your son, Stephen." I love you, Daddy. "We miss you, Daddy. Love, Christopher." And I remember riding on my daddy's shoulders, Maggie Murphy, age 4. My daddy is on top of a rainbow. Love, Carter. There is a memorial building now next to the fire station across from Ground Zero. There are photographs of the missing, beautiful, smiling people. There are items found in the rubble over the years: keys, a bent police badge, twisted silverware, a shoe, a cell phone, buttons from the elevators, a pair of scissors. There is a dusty, damaged teddy bear, and at the end of the hallway is a twisted steel girder from the building itself. And there is a window frame from one of the aircraft that crashed into the towers. There's a broken fireman's helmet, badge number 288. I think of the rhetoric and debate and divisiveness in America that was spawned from the politics following September 11th, 2001. I wonder if this perilous road we travel will lead to greater tragedies or miracle solutions. The debate is well known and will not subside. I grieve for the servicemen and women whose numbers lost now exceed those murdered on September 11th. Tremendous emotions have been laid bare in our country because this catastrophe struck us. And at this moment, those debates do not matter. I just feel grief, pride, loss, and hope. The man next to me is one of them in the picture on the wall. He touches the picture with his finger and says, "That's me, that's me. That was the end of the world. That's what we thought." And I call my daughter Madeline, and I call my son Matthew. I needed to tell them I love them because the weight of this place causes me to feel the humanity that was here, the humanity that was lost. I know we must rise to great heights of love and ethics and responsibility to recover from this and discover a new era for our children. As I walk away from Ground Zero late in that September 11th day, I feel my own urgent sense of responsibility to help with this recovery. This event polarized Americans. Once it was popularized and politicized into the debates of patriotism, this led to argument. This led, in part, to the discrediting of science and our policy making, to splitting America in two. Have we forgotten how to talk to one another? I dream of my country again as whole.
Charts and graphs. When the prairie burned, we watched. Seeds would follow, rejoicing, popping and sprouting and blooming with the sun. I envy the simplicity, never wrong. But the snapping turtle in the road, like a wayward manger, untutored in the endeavors of crossing the road, was struck, dumb-like, in headlights, then by Michelin's. Chart that. Crossing the distance doesn't mean the other side is greener if you've not a clue as to why you're crossing the distance. Graph that. Ask the turtle. It will not answer.
Think of our situation. Sure, there is no perfect understanding of science, or fact, or faith, or cause and effect. Are we really just tossing the dice some days? Map it out. The situation, origins of life, Earth's history, key elements, formation of metals, formation of fossil fuels, formation of soils, establishment of ecosystems and forests and wetlands therein. Mimicking nature goes on and on. Community is invented. Economy is achieved. Governments are explored. Cities and transportation and energy and agriculture and food and ice age innovation realized. And it is our human nature. We design, we build, we consume, we politic, we science, we team, we lead, we stumble upon symmetry, we lust for sustainability. We stare into the future like staring into the sun. We are piloting our reality on Mother Earth's orb that will continue to hurl through space, whether or not we realize what we can truly achieve if only we work together. Map it out. Don't fight it. Now look, the people of the world drink 500 billion cups of coffee annually. So why aren't we getting more done? We need to get all this coffee or all the elected officials into the coffee shops to solve our problems. Away from the cameras, away from the sound bites, and the posturing and the grandstanding. Just talk, please, just talk. We're all on our side. Do we remember how to do that? Top 10 sustainability issues of the year. Number 10.
Communication.
Communication, you say?
Huh?
Oh, you want me to talk to you?
Could you send me a text?
Number 9.
Government.
Government, you say?
I say.
Oh. Number 8.
Integrating sustainability.
Number 7.
Biodiversity.
Number 6.
Water.
Number 5.
Waste.
Number 4.
Transportation.
Number 3.
Buildings.
Number 2.
Energy.
And the number 1 top 10 sustainability issue in America today.
Global warming/climate change.
Observing, forecasting, confining, responding, innovating, science, balancing urban-suburban rule. We are only 7 billion people now. We'll be 9 billion someday, using science to help us plan for tomorrow. Chew on that one. Just think about that. Chew on that one.
Chew and swallow like there is no tomorrow. Obtain, devour like there is no tomorrow. Burn with fire like there is no tomorrow. You will be sorry if you act like there's no tomorrow.
I visited the General Sherman tree in California. This massive grandfather sequoia is 2,700 years old. The forest is a composite pillar of life and chaotic tangled undergrowth all about their trunks, all clinging to the undulating and sometimes trembling terrains of the West Coast. I can imagine the velociraptors that probably once hunted in a forest like this. This tree teaches us to be adaptable. I then visited Methuselah Valley in Nevada. There is the great basin bristlecone pine. This tree is 4,800 years old. I saw this tree, this gnarled, bleached, twisted pillar of wood that has seen the eras of human history. It teaches us that we too can grow in harsh environments. This tree teaches us to live in harmony with nature. At Fish Lake National Forest in Utah is a quaking aspen, Populus tremuloides, which has been cloning itself for 80,000 years, maybe even 1,000,000 years. This covers 107 acres and have 47,000 trees that have come up from it. It weighs 6,000 tons. It teaches us to live within our means. A tree provides food, shelter, water, and cleanses wastes, and provides shade in hot days and protection from wind and rain. This is what buildings do. This is what buildings should do. This is what trees do. This is what trees should do. Sustainability and harmony with nature. That's the science. Our buildings should be like our trees, our cities like our forests. Am I dreaming? According to the Human Transit Organization, 56% of households in New York City have no cars. In Chicago, it's 29%. In Los Angeles, 17%. In 2050, we'll have 9.2 billion people on this planet. 70% of them will live in these cities. Do you know that metropolitan areas yield 30% more in earnings for a worker than a rural area? And we have rooftop gardens in cities, like New York City. 20% of New York's rooftops are available for growing gardens. And I'm thinking of food, chocolate, a major food group for me, chocolate. You know, it's a great antioxidant. Who likes chocolate? Nobody. Okay. Anyways, can I grow this stuff on my roof? And I'm thinking of wine. I like wine. Wine and chocolate is a good thing. Maybe I can grow a vineyard up on my roof. Why not? I got a roof. I could have a small winery and superfoods and greens and bees, honey, and a few more manageable ones. The potential is through the roof. Robin, what can you do on a roof? I think we're gonna find out.
Well, 8 stories high in the middle of Brooklyn is no place to find a fresh vegetable. But I tried, but finally I just quit looking. Well, I'm upstairs and outside. It's incredible. I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof. It was a crazy idea to put a farm up there, but I got a farm on my roof. Well, I'm a living off the grid in the middle of the city with a dog named Fred, where the city wasn't ready, but Fred understood that I had to grow food on my little plot of land. Now my neighbors understand too. Everybody thought I was a goof. And if you really wanna know the truth, well, I didn't even know if I could make things grow. But now 2 years later, the fruits of my labor are looking pretty good in my Brooklyn neighborhood. Well, I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof. City has so much to offer. Well, the streets are alive, the buildings are sculptural. It's brimming with art and with culture. Well, I once was merely cultured, now I'm agricultural. I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof. Well, people think I'm nuts until they see what's in my buckets. I got a farm on my roof. Well, now that they can see all the crops that I'm yielding, farming for free on the tops of my building. Well, everybody smiles when they see big piles of fine ripe tomatoes I deliver to my neighbors. Well, everybody thought I was a goof. And if you really want to know the truth, well, maybe I was nuts, but when the flowers open up, everybody's jealous of the flowers on my trellis. Well, now they think it's charming that I've taken up farming, and I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof, sing it with me now. I got a farm on my roof, oh yeah. I got a farm on my roof. What, where? I got a farm on my roof. I got a farm on my roof.
This is our last bit, and we want to thank you tremendously for the night. The Sustainatones, Robin Bienemann,
And sexy Roger Kuhns.
And I want to thank, of course, Margaret and Ellen for letting us indulge this, and Jeanne Kuhns, my sister, for setting a lot of this stuff up, and Jenny Bienemann, who's busier than a sailor in a hurricane, to making time for this. And you got to get Mary Beth's new CD. It's fantastic.
And soundman Pat Palmer.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Pat.
I've been at it all life long, putting these pieces together. There's a picture this puzzle will make, touch you like a feather, and the wind will embrace your space, and the sun will warm your skin.
Find your way out of the steel canyon one more time. Let the earth embrace you one more time. Let the waters cleanse you one more time. Let the environment teach you one more time.
One more time. She once told me life was strong, the one who stays. There's a harmony throughout nature, and a learning you cannot teach her. Find your way out of the steel canyon one more time. Let the earth embrace you one more time. Let the water cleanse you one more time. Let the environment teach you one more time. One more time. I know you've told me you don't want to hear. I know you've told me there is nothing to fear. I'm not saying that the end is near, just that life can sometimes disappear. Science does not matter. You turn a blind eye to save some face. The world is torn and tattered, but I see a child who's all alone, and I see that we've compromised our home. Find your way out of the steel canyon one more time. Let the earth embrace you one more time. Let the water cleanse you one more time. Let the environment teach you one more time. Find your way out of the steel canyon one more time. Let the earth embrace you one more time. Let the water cleanse you one more time. Let the environment teach you one more time. Find your way out of the steel canyon one more time. Let the earth embrace you one more time. Let the water cleanse you one more time. Let the environment teach you one more time. One more time. One more time. One more time.
Thanks. Had a wasp in my eye.
One more time.
Thank you very much.
Roger Kuhns.